headquarters of common sense.
Talk Radio.
Life is getting better.
It is
we
getting
are
better.
getting back onto the straight and narrow, but we have to be really vigilant.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pop this in there, that if you haven't signed the Together Declaration, please go to together.org and sign it, because it's not just about vaccine mandates. It's about our freedoms ongoing.
Yes.
And bear in mind that Sajid said that he was going to get rid of the vaccine mandates, and he hasn't quite done that.
Right.
So we've really got to hold his face to the fire.
Yeah.
No, face to the fire.
Now you're
Face
talking.
to the fire to make sure it happens.
Well, I was talking to Tom Hunt, who's one of the good MPs, I think, because, I mean, he comes and speaks to us, which a lot of them don't do.
Yeah.
And you don't have to agree with everything he says, but he said, well, we do live in a free country. And I said, well, we do, but we have to be very careful that these people who have been running the country do not get too much of a taste for controlling us.
But they have got too much of a taste.
Because they really like it now,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, boy,
and you
do
see
they.
it in Scotland, you see it in Wales, much worse than here.
Yeah.
So I think we've also got to keep that fight up as well, to make sure
Absolutely,
that,
constantly.
stop telling us what to do, stop telling us which way to walk,
Who we can see.
Yeah.
I mean, they wanted to tell me who I could see, which members of my family who I could see. Well, you just heard what I feel about that. That's never going to happen.
Exactly right. And you were telling me that a lot of people have been coming up to you lately as well.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that, because it's been kind of constant now for the past few months. I don't step out of the house. It doesn't matter where I am. I can be in the country, I can be in town or whatever. People coming up to me and telling me thank you. The thing that happened the other day was I went and we've got a puppy and we might be going away, so we tried a dog walker out, and I knocked on her door to collect the Ziki, our dog, and she saw me and she went, "Oh my gosh, it's you."
Right.
She burst into tears and cuddled me.
Wow.
And said, "Thank you so much. At a time when I was feeling I was going crazy, you and Talk Radio and Mike Graham made me feel sane." And I just, you and I put up with so much trolling and so much negativity, that we were called granny killers and that we didn't care about people and that we were heartless. But actually, we were the least heartless, because we were talking about things other than people who had COVID, which is now proving to be much more people have suffered with ill harms and deaths.
Well, I mean,
lockdown.
I've been talking about it this morning, and we'll talk about it some more, I'm sure, the NHS waiting list. Sajid Javid, and why did they even bother saying, we can make an announcement, because, coming in 2024, in March, soon we'll be able to reduce the waiting list.
It's just not good enough. Mike, it's just not good enough. And what I'm really feeling is that throwing money at the NHS is not working.
It's not the answer.
So taking our money that we've suffered for 2 years not making money, and taking it and putting it into the NHS is still just feeding the middlemen. It's broken. No other country in the world will find 10 million people on a waiting list, or 6 million people are acceptable. Which other country thinks that's okay?
I know.
The NHS is broken and it needs fixing from the top down. The people that work hard, all the nurses, all the people that are doing those long shifts, they should be getting the money. All these middlemen that are getting $250,000 a year for what? Pushing paper around.
Tony Blair's former advisor, right, who now runs something called the NHS Federation. The NHS Federation exists purely and simply to procure money for the NHS, right? Now, why does that have to be done? Because the government gives them money anyway, so they don't have to make a case for more money. But almost everybody on that organisation is on a six-figure salary. He's on about $250,000 a year.
It's just completely
what are they doing?
Outrageous. Yeah. And the other thing that needs to be fixed in the NHS is we've got to stop being a shop front for Big Pharma and start putting holistic health first.
Yes.
It's the most important
I've
thing.
never understood why, as an organisation, the NHS is not dictating to the pharmaceutical companies.
Thank you.
Why is it the other way around?
Why are we paying more than anybody else for drugs?
We're the biggest health organisation, I think, probably in the world, because over in America it's all split up into different HMOs and all that, right? So the NHS, huge purchasing power. If I was running it, I'd go to these companies like Pfizer and go, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll buy 75 million, Viagra tablets off you, but I'm only going to pay you a penny for each one.
Yeah, that's what a free market does for you.
And if you don't want that, we'll go and buy them from somebody else.
Yeah.
Cheerio.
Exactly.
Isn't that what you do?
That is what you do, unless there's something a little bit odd going on. And I feel that there's many things a little bit odd going on that really need to be put under a magnifying glass and fixed.
And also I said to Tom Hunt that we need to be sure, because he was saying we have to remember how wrong all of the scientists were and how the sage people and their modelling was useless. And I said, well, not only should we remember that, but we shouldn't let them anywhere near the process anymore.
No, and we should
failed.
not deal with behavioural psychologists. Behavioural psychologists need to go in some corner.
Yeah, behave.
And behave themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly. Behave.
But listen, let's talk about kids, because we've got the online porn
Yes.
bill, I suppose, for want of a better word, going through. Laura was here yesterday talking about how concerned she was about the kind of privacy issues of that.
Yes.
Because obviously that is one aspect of it, but another aspect of it is our children's well-being, isn't it?
It really is our children's well-being, and I don't think this bill is going to actually do anything. So I don't necessarily agree with it. What I feel needs to be done, because the thing is, you can make sure that somebody puts their age in, but let me tell you, when kids want to get around something, they are techno brilliant, much more than you or I are.
Cool.
And also everyone's got smartphones, and they'll be able to see it somewhere else. So I don't think that's going to do anything.
No.
What will do something is actually in school during their PHSE classes, instead of talking about things that I don't think should be that relevant to our children at the moment. You know, I think gender is a difficult subject to talk about, and doesn't affect all the kids there. I think one of the things that will affect all children is if they are exposed to porn early on.
Yeah.
And I think that needs to be the warning that children get. One of the things that I said more to my sons rather than my daughters as much, because they're a bit older, is you're going to see things if you go looking that you can never unsee.
Yeah.
And I promise you it will disturb you.
Yeah.
And because we have a good relationship with my children, we talked it through, and I think it sat somewhere and you know, the boys thought about it. But that conversation needs to be had. Most parents are completely delusional when it comes to what they think their kids are up to. They have no idea. I mean, because I'm not, you know, a grass, I never say what I know, because my children are very open. I know what's going on with everything.
And some of it you don't want to tell them, you know, right?
No, because my kids tell me. That doesn't bother me. I just don't want to tell the parents I know, because it's not my place.
Right.
Because when you hear them speaking about their children, it's not the kid I know.
Right. Right.
And I'm not. I don't want to be the messenger.
No.
The messenger
No,
always
I think
gets
that's
shot.
fair enough.
So unless it's something really dangerous, I choose not to.
Right.
So most parents are delusional about their children. So I think it is left with the schools to sit down and just give these kind of warnings about porn, and it's got to start, I think, in year 6 before you go to secondary school. I think it needs to start in primary school, because from what I'm reading,
for a lot of children now it does.
It does. They're looking at porn.
I don't think they do it right though, because I think if you start to tell, say, an 9 or 10-year-old child about something that they can't even imagine, they're never going to take it in. They're never going to understand it. They're not going to get it at all, are they?
No, they won't. But I think from all the studies I've read, young children are being exposed to porn as early as 10 and 11. So I think it should be touched on there. Right. And then once you get to secondary school, it should be an ongoing conversation. But again, it comes back to the social media conversation, doesn't it? Because Snapchat and TikTok and, you know, Twitter, Facebook, all of those places are places potentially where bad things are going on. Yeah, they are. I don't know how you stop that, because again, these companies which produce this stuff are very good at getting around the rules, aren't they? They are really good, but that's got to start in the home. Because, I mean, we've tried with the Shield and all that sort of stuff that you have, and none of it works. It doesn't work at all. It's ridiculous. It really doesn't work. I mean, it's like the old, net curtains to stop COVID, you know, it's still coming in. Yeah. You know, there's nothing... You mean masks to stop COVID? They're the ones. Yeah, whatever. But, you know, those pictures of people used to put out the shopping trolley where you carry the sand in it, you know. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I do think that if you are lucky enough to be able to have open conversations with your children, you should start them from young. Yeah. And if you're uncomfortable, maybe it should be something that the school can help you with. Yes. Definitely. Talking about, let's get your view on Mr. Zouma as well while we're talking about influencing children. Because do you know, I'm so concerned about his children. That's horrible, isn't it? I'm so concerned about his children that they were laughing and thought it was funny by the example that their father had set, that this is okay and this is funny. And so children are not born evil. No. But that was evil. Yeah. He is teaching them evil. He's teaching them it's okay to do this. It's okay to be cruel. And we know that any kind of psychopathic behaviour starts in children. And it always starts, if you talk to someone, to the psychologists and the psychiatrists that deal with people that have killed people, it started with hurting animals. Yes, always. That's where it starts. Yeah. So and not thinking it's very dangerous. I'm not thinking a consequence at all. I can't believe West Ham United as a football club think that it's all right for him to play. Mike, I'm not sure about your opinion on that. I personally think that I don't see why West Ham and that the supporters should be penalised. I think he should be penalised. I think that his fee for playing, a big old chunk of it, like 2/3, should go to animal charities for a period of time, because that's how he'll really feel it. You know, and animal charities need money to stop what he does. But surely the best punishment for him is for him not to be able to play football, because that's what he does. And only if his wages stopped.
Yeah, well, stop his wages as well, because
Yeah.
he shouldn't get paid if he doesn't play. But the point about allowing him to play, for me, means that nobody cares what he did. It doesn't matter what he did, because
It's about money.
he's a good footballer.
Yeah, but it's about money.
Yeah.
And it's about, I was speaking to a West Ham fan who just said, look, it's disgusting, outrageous, I hate it. But, I don't want my team to lose because he's not playing. Why should I be punished because he's evil?
Isn't that a double standard? Doesn't that mean that actually you are somebody who is actually rather unsavoury?
Selfish. Yeah.
Because
it does.
you're effectively
But
saying, don't worry, doesn't matter what he does, he's a good player.
unfortunately,
Where do you draw the line?
With footballers, and not that they're all like that, but many footballers, I think because they start young and they start getting this huge amount of money young, and they think that they can do what they like and everything could be covered
and just
up.
pay for everything.
And pay for everything. I wonder whether it's, it's not good for their humanity
It's really not.
and their mental
and
growth.
for kids, again, watching football,
Yeah.
who might be even wearing a Zouma shirt because he's
Yeah.
a good defender, what's that teaching them?
Terrible
Do what
things.
you like.
Yeah.
As long as you're good at what you do, you can get away with anything. And I think that's why
I think
he
you're
needs
right.
to
Well,
not play.
there is a discussion to be had. It's just I don't want it to be trailed into other things.
No.
That's the thing. That's the worry. So once you start doing that, what does it mean to the next thing?
Yeah.
But I do think that he should, his wage should be taken and given to animal charities and to, kindness.
Well, do you know one of the
charities.
more bizarre aspects of the story that we got yesterday is that he's actually an ambassador for a big cat charity.
No
that
way.
he is.
No way.
That looks after big cats who have been abused in the wild. Huh?
Unbelievable.
Anyway.
I mean, you couldn't make that stuff up, could you?
You really couldn't.
You really couldn't.
You really couldn't.
Good talk.
Hot talk. Bold talk. Talk radio.
Listen on your smart speaker.
Watch it live on your smart TV.
The world headquarters of common sense.
Talk Radio.